Well, welcome everybody to another edition of Sports Opinions with Regular Guys. I'm Frank, Ralph, Mike, and this is episode, what is this, 10 or 12?
We're on 12 now.
Oh, number 12.
Building, baby.
So we're going to get into a variety of different topics today. Just so that you understand, we're based in Chicago, so we focus more on Chicago sports, but we do get into the national sports scenes too, particularly in the NFL and the NBA. Particularly this time of year, it's going to be the NBA. So, getting right into it, we're going to start getting into some of the topics we're going to go into today. Of course, is the Bulls' 2-game losing streak. You know, they're 1-2 coming out of the All-Star break. We'll transition into other news of the NBA, Ben Simmons news, and other NBA news as well. LeBron James interacting with fans in LA, booing to him. We're also going to get into some Aaron Rodgers news and a little bit of the NFL. So with that being said, let's start it off with this past week. The Bulls came out of the All-Star break. They got a good win against Atlanta.
Yep.
But then tough one against Memphis with Ja Morant getting a career high of, I believe it's 46 points at that time. And then, he played again the other day and got another career high, getting over 50 points a game. So looks like right now, because this is a week-to-week thing, it looks like, right now the front runner for the MVP so far to me looks like Morant has leapfrogged everybody right now.
What
do you guys think about that?
Oh man, this guy, you heard what he said?
Yeah, good. Those are strong words. Those are strong words because, I do give the man his credit. I've been following him since he's been in the league. He's amazing. He can shoot, dribble. He's fast. His jumping. He leaps. And he's got hang time, which you don't really see in the NBA very much anymore. We saw that nasty dunk on Podol, last night. Just to remind you, DeMar DeRozan also dunked on him too.
Yes.
I hope you remember that. But it just wasn't as nasty because this guy took off almost from the free throw line and dunked Podol. That was embarrassing. But what can you do? It is Ja Morant. Front runner for MVP. He's in the MVP talks, but I don't think he is the number one guy. We still have the likes of Joel Embiid, MVP status. You still have Steph Curry. You still have Giannis. It's kind of tough to put him out there as being the front runner for an MVP.
Well, basically, I believe Embiid probably will get the MVP because he did more with less at that particular time. Even though these guys, they feel the way they feel about Ben Simmons, but he was out. So that was another good all-star player that they can possibly use to help with, the seasons as of right now. Ja Morant, I was watching the Bulls game when they were playing against them. And you know what? Stacey King, one of the Bulls announcers, he made a good point. He reminds him of a Derrick Rose in his first couple seasons. And he hit it right on the head.
I can see that.
I can see that big time. Big time. The way he attacks the basket.
You don't agree?
You don't agree, Pretty Boy? Got the afro all straight.
I don't know.
Because see,
I can't say that.
well,
right
see,
now.
both. If you really think about it, what was Derrick Rose when he first came?
I think John Morant's playing better than Derrick Rose, to be honest with you, because I think he's a better shooter.
Than his MVP season?
Yeah, I think he's a better shooter. That's important. I think he's a better shooter, and
There's nothing wrong with that.
and athletically, I think he's a little bit athletically better than Derrick Rose.
Really?
Speed-wise and athletic, how he dunks the ball. But I think he's a better scorer than Derrick Rose was at this point of his career.
Okay. No,
And he hasn't been. Derrick Rose didn't get injured till after his MVP season. This is Morant's what?
Second
Second?
or third year.
Okay. So I'd say around this time, I think John Morant is better at this point than Derrick Rose was at his point.
He came out the same year that Zion Williamson.
Yeah.
Because he came out after.
So it's his third season.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I think he's progressed better than Derrick Rose in his third season. Now, Derrick Rose, I believe, won the MVP that year.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And that's what I'm saying. I think John Morant right now is
Gotcha.
it's kind of leapfrog, but it's a week-to-week thing.
Right.
Because, next week it may be Embiid or Giannis or DeRozan.
Can I thank you. I was going to say, how can we disrespect DeMar DeRozan?
I'm not
He is
disrespecting
playing-
DeMar DeRozan. No,
He is
I'm not.
playing on MVP
Yes, he
level
is.
right now.
Yes, he is.
So,
But going back to what it was the Bulls. They're on a 2-game losing streak. They should have beat Memphis. They had a chance to win that, but again, against Miami, they just got completely mauled. And it goes to, unfortunately, the Bulls can't seem to beat the top teams in the league. They have a problem beating the top team. They have a horrible record against the top teams. Now, I'm going to say that's because of their injuries. Now, the regular season is important, yes, because it gets you seeded. But I think when it comes right down to it, if the Bulls are healthy, when we have Ball back, we have Caruso back, we have all of our players back playing good defense at the end of the season, the playoffs are a whole different animal. And they'll clamp up on the defense better, and they'll probably play better in the playoffs. Right now, again, they're injured. They don't have everybody together. Once they do get everybody together and they have no more injuries, I think once they get their playoff seeding solidified, I think they'll be okay. Now, that's when I want to see them test against these top teams.
I want to touch up on that. So, I'm looking at our box score and everything here. So, I know, I get it. We're missing Caruso. I get it. We're missing Ball. But we do have some athletic guys out there. Are you telling me that yesterday's game against Miami, we had Gabe Vincent torch us from the three-point line, basically. Drove in and pump faked the mess out of us and got 20 points. This guy, I can't remember the last time he got 20 points. But somehow he was the main difference maker. They didn't have Kyle Lowry yesterday.
Nope.
Someone else was missing. Someone else big.
Oladipo.
Yes, Victor Oladipo wasn't even playing. But we still lost to them, and
look at this. There's 3 stats right here. Look at these 3 stats.
Mm-hmm.
The Bulls shot 1 more field goal more than Miami. But the 3 points. Miami hit 12 of 31 3-pointers. The Bulls hit 7 of 29.
Yeah.
And
That was all in the fourth quarter.
Miami was 20 of 26 at the free throw line. The Bulls only went to the free throw line 15 times and we hit 10 of them. But again, it goes back to this stat, 3-point. The Bulls give up too many threes. They don't defend that 3-point
We
line.
normally fire back and keep up. That was the thing.
They haven't been able to
yesterday.
keep, but they haven't been able to keep up really. They haven't been able to keep up since Ball got injured. They used to be able to keep up with that, but since he's got injured, they really haven't been able to keep up. They've given up too many three-pointers, too many, and they're not making as many anymore either. So, their defense has got to get better, particularly on that 3-point line. They give up way too many 3-pointers.
Well, you know what I said. It gets back to that old Digital Underground song. Same song. What's going on? It's the defense, transition defense. They can't get around the screen. People don't call out the picks. They don't cover each other. They don't get the person's back. If you're going to double here, somebody has to move from their man to get to the other man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You have to rotate. The Bulls do not rotate. They've been having a problem with that all year long. Even if when you get, Caruso back and Ball back, you're gonna be helped on defense, but it's not gonna tackle everything.
Kyle Lowry was out that game, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
And Tyler Hero, what did he do that game?
He was
did
jacking the
business.
Bulls up.
Yeah.
He did the business. He put up
Yeah.
about 20 points, and they were also missing, Markieff Morris.
So, I think they play him one more time this season. I think it's here, I think. But, again, I think if these players get healthy before the end of the season, get everybody together, I think they'll be okay.
I don't know about all that because how many top 6 teams have we played and got victories out of them?
They have a loser record.
Our record is like
They do, but
it's like 2-12.
But who do we have for those games? We haven't had their whole team together.
2 wins
Yeah, but
and 12
I don't
losses
think it's
against
gonna be.
top 6 teams. That's not a good record.
Yeah, it's not a good record
at all.
But they also haven't been healthy either.
Which brings me back to one of our first episodes that we had. Where I was saying I love my Bulls, but it doesn't look like we're ready for the top tier teams like Golden State. Golden State has their way with us. The Miami Heat have their way with us every time they see us, basically, even with or without Jimmy Butler.
Philadelphia,
have their
Miami,
way with us. Yes.
Yeah, those teams. Yeah, well, they're going to be the problem in the playoffs. But again, what I would like to see them play. They play all these teams. Well, they don't play Philadelphia again. I don't think. I think they play. Okay, they play one more time. Now, if our players are healthy and we got everybody playing again, I want to see them play against with the healthy Bulls team.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I want to see.
But here's the thing. Look how the Bulls played against
Monday. They play next Monday. Huh?
Yeah, next Monday. But see how they play against subpar to low, under 500 teams.
They struggle with them too sometimes too.
So it's all about defense. It's all about defense because it shouldn't be when you get a team like that, you should clamp down on them and they shouldn't be wanting to come back. They should be down 20 points.
Their top two defenders are out.
Yeah, but like I said, but I don't think that's going to be enough.
I think that obviously that makes a difference because
it has to be a commitment.
Look how many points they've been giving up since these guys have been hurt.
Commitment. You got to be a commitment, R&B.
Well, yeah, I'm
Gotta
sure.
be a commitment.
I'm sure.
Well, the way I see things happening, our next game Thursday is going to be Atlanta. I think we're going to win that game. I think we've already solved the Trae Young puzzle.
Yeah, but Friday,
but
Friday we got to see
them. They're still doing the same thing too, and the Bulls have a hard time against Atlanta. Why? Because in the paint, Atlanta is scoring the points, and they get what they need to do. Trae, he's throwing the alley-oop right there. Come on, man. You got to box this person out. You got to prevent that from happening. A lot of times the Bulls, they allow the player, like, okay, we're going to stay with Trae Young. He's dribbling down into the paint right by the cup. Why is nobody stopping the ball? I saw that multiple times yesterday. Nobody stopped the ball.
Yeah.
Nobody stopped the ball. Even our boy DeRozan and my homie, Zach Levine didn't stop the ball.
Well, like I said,
the
thing is that they give up too many threes. They don't defend the 3-point line.
That's because they can't get around the screen.
And down low. To let you score whatever they want.
Another thing too that bugs me about the Bulls is like, they penetrate, they'll get past that second point and they have a good shot, 15-footer by the free throw line, they'll pass it out to 3. And that bugs me because it's like you got a nice little open shot right here, take it. We don't always need the 3,
I agree.
Yeah, they take too many threes, and they give up too many threes. Yeah. And you saw they only made 7 the other night against Miami. Miami made 12 of them, and only took 2 more than the Bulls took. And it was the free throw line. Again, what happens? You got to be aggressive. So the Bulls, obviously, the only one who's really aggressive is DeRozan because he gets his calls. You've got to drive it in to make these refs make a call. There's no reason why Miami's going to the line 26 times and you're only going to the line 15.
Yeah, a lot of times though too, I think DeRozan's kind of forcing it, man.
Well, you're supposed to.
You don't need to force
it. You can force because the other team is forcing it and they're calling it. Mm-hmm. By being aggressive, then you're gonna make the refs make a call.
He gets a lot of calls. It's not like
it's more, but they need more than him to do is what I'm trying to say. You need more than him to do it.
Then that means you need to
instead of kicking out for that 3 all the time, drive it in.
You need to do that.
Like Vooch needs to drive it in. He needs to back down them and get a call, get an and one.
He'll do that every once.
He needs to do that.
He'll do that.
He needs to do that.
But not enough.
They're not feeding him the ball the way he should be getting fed anyway. I mean, if you look at it, sometimes he has his hand raised. It's like, come on, let me get the ball, but they don't want to give it to him because they're scared. So I think they also need to work on that inside feed. To Vooch. Now, what I also want to touch back up on as far as the Bulls are concerned. We got a couple of games that are coming up. We do have Atlanta. We got Milwaukee. You think we're going to beat Milwaukee?
We can. They can win both those games. Milwaukee's not really lighting the world on fire right now.
Really?
What are they? 6-4 in the last 10.
Well, they're in 4th place and they're coming up.
Well, they've always been coming up. I mean, the bottom line, it's.
And then after that, we got to see Philly. again.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a good test because we're going to have to see James Harden, which is playing like he wants to play in the league again.
Yeah.
Because he is playing dynamic. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the couple of games he started in, and he looks like a renewed.
No, he feels like he's
man.
playing. He's playing with the team that
Rejuvenated.
where all the players actually want to play.
And somehow,
Instead of one player says I can only play part-time games.
And somehow he looks like he lost 10 pounds as soon as he landed in Philly.
It's
Could have been
amazing.
wearing a fat suit.
That's why.
That's amazing.
But I don't know why you do that, but yeah, he looks a whole lot slimmer. He's got bounce in his step. He's running up and down the court. I don't know if you saw that no look bounce back behind his back, to Embiid while he was trailing him in that dunk. I mean that just told you exactly right there what kind of dominance they're going to be bringing to the East. So I think you really should be afraid of them coming out the East.
And they're gonna get Jordan probably pretty soon.
Yeah. So the Lakers waived DeAndre Jordan today, and first thing I read was they are aggressively going after DeAndre Jordan, which I don't know why, because I think I know he's only 33 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's a little past his prime. I mean, the man just is not jumping like he used to. He's not moving like he used to. You saw him in LA. You had LeBron James actually having to start at center because, they just couldn't use him, or Dwight Howard for that fact. But that could also be bad coaching. But anyway, back to the East Coast. James Harden's looking fantastic. And the guy he was traded for somehow still has back trouble. He's hurt, and he's going to conveniently be hurt until they play the Philadelphia 76ers. And then after that, he'll be fine again, just kind of like, the mental health issue. We all know who I'm talking about.
Of course.
So
Conveniently, Ben Simmons has back issues out of nowhere. You haven't even played. How the hell do you have back issues?
Hey,
So
NBA players.
again, it's just an excuse. Like Mike was saying, it's an excuse because they don't want him to play against Philadelphia on March 10th. Because they gotta, let's just be honest. They want to protect him. They don't want him to go into that environment. They want to wait until that's over with and then bring him out there, which I think is ridiculous because you are an NBA player. You are paid millions of dollars to get your ass out there and play. And what are they supposed to be your babysitters, Ben Simmons? So the Nets are your babysitters. So, oh no, we got to protect you. We can't put you out there against Philadelphia because we're afraid that the fans will boo you and your ex-players will treat you like trash and talk trash to you, and you just can't handle with your delicate mental stability. You're afraid that you might crack. Well, then if that's the case, then you need to retire. Man up, get out there and play, or, go away. Period. And that's what I think. But what they're going to do is they're going to baby him, sit him out, and then right after the 10th, he's going to come out and play like, he's all fine now. His back is fine. He's mentally good. He's mentally healthy. It's great to go. Now we get out there and play.
Yep.
And then what's going to happen in a couple of weeks when Brooklyn still loses and continues to lose? What's going to happen then?
You don't know that.
Well,
okay.
I still think defensively he's going to be a defensive presence. Offensively, I don't think he's going to be doing anything then.
He's gonna be distributing the ball.
Unless I'm mistaken,
he's a pass first kind of player. He's not the offensive type of player.
Okay.
And he'll have Kyrie, and once my main man gets back, you know who they're talking about.
And let's also remember where they're playing at too. They're in New York now, so that's a bigger market.
Pretty soon. That's gonna end soon. Trust me.
What's gonna end pretty soon?
The restrictions.
No. I'm not talking about that.
What are you
the market.
About?
He was already coming out of a tough market in Philadelphia.
It's not the press, bro.
What do you think is going to be in the tougher market in New York, right?
It's not the press at all. It's not.
I'm not talking about the press. I'm just talking about New York. Period. Is that market the pressure?
It's not. It's not about.
I mean, Philadelphia he can't handle Philadelphia. What the hell is he going to handle New York?
Like I said before in the previous podcast, it's not. It has nothing to do with the fans or the reporters.
He needs to go to Oklahoma City. He needs to go somewhere like Oklahoma City or Utah or one of those little small market teams where the pressure won't be on you so much to win, and the fans won't get on you so much when you'll mentally break down, and the players won't talk about you. Maybe that's where he needs
Players
to
will
go.
talk about you in Oklahoma. And so it doesn't matter. You need confidence in your team.
The 76ers players, they say he quit on him. He quit on the team, which he did.
I agree.
So
I don't think so. I just think if my coach talks bad about me, yeah, I'm different.
coach
I
knew
would
he
have probably
quit.
did a little bit different.
This coach knew.
but
Doc Rivers knew he
that
quit
could-
on him, and the players knew it. So
No way. If someone says something bad about you in the press like that, you're gonna probably feel somewhat similar the same way. Knowing your personality, will you act the same way?
I'm not paying
No.
millions of dollars to get out there and play. Pay me millions of dollars to get out there and play, and I'll have the smiliest and happiest face on TV.
Yeah, right.
I don't
Frank.
believe that.
So-
It's not all about money.
I
bro.
mean-
it's not all about money at all.
That's your job, is to smile in front of that camera, say how the game went, and move on.
Just
and
like it's
not
my job to
baby-
smile at people when
you know.
I'm doing rehab,
So-
but it doesn't really matter, man. It's not all
Look,
about
I'm so
that.
tired of these excuses for this guy.
It's no
It's
excuse.
just sickening. The bottom line is they are babying him and hiding him and putting him away until after the chance because they don't want to play against Philadelphia because they know what kind of heat he's going to get if he plays
Yeah, they're
against
gonna
them.
move him by
And that's
mistake.
why they don't want. That's going to fracture his fragile mind right now.
Eventually, he's gonna have to play in Philadelphia. He's gonna be coming to the playoffs.
You sure?
They
Some
probably don't
serious
want-
injury
they probably
might
don't want-
happen.
They
Yeah,
probably
he
don't
might
want
hurt
him.
his
They probably
body.
don't want him to play right now. I agree with you on that. They probably don't want him to play right now until like afterwards. But who cares? What's the big deal, right?
They're trying to get into playoffs. Every game at this point matters to them.
And they lost again.
They're almost on the edge of not even making it. They got to win every game they can get.
They'll probably make it. They'll make it into the play.
He lost again tonight.
They only have they got what 20 games left? Is that or less than that now? Come on now, we're in March now.
Yeah, but you know how easy
Season
it is
has
to
like
get
another
into a
month
win
left.
streak. Well, look what Boston has done. Okay, look what Boston has done.
Yeah, but Boston has been together. I don't see Brooklyn just getting it together. All of a sudden they lost 1 point. They lost 108, 109 to the Raptors side. They're 32 and 31. They're one game over 500.
Okay.
And there's 63 games in the season. They have
So-
19 games left.
Look who their highest scorer was. LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
So they have 19 games left.
Yes.
Okay. So they're not going to win all 19 games. We know this.
No one said.
So let's say they go 10-9.
I don't
I
think
don't
they're
think
gonna
that
go
happening.
10-9.
Let's say they go 10-9. They're just going to be 42 and 31 or 32. They'll just be, they'll just be a 500 team.
That should be enough to get into the play-in. That's all you really need. And by that time, KD should be back.
Well,
And then at that point,
look at the outcome to that, though. If they end up coming in 8th or 7th, who will be in first or second place is going to have to face them?
Philadelphia or Miami
Nah,
or the Bulls.
Miami's-
Surely the
likely.
Bulls might be in second place at that point.
They probably be. I believe the Bulls going to be in third place.
That's a
safer-
possibility.
That's safer for them.
But
because
third or second doesn't matter because they got to play each other in the second
you don't
round
want to
anyway.
see Brooklyn first. I mean, if KD
Brooklyn
is
would have to
healthy-
play. Brooklyn would have to
Especially
play
get everybody
2
back.
games to get into the tournament.
Okay.
So they have to play. They have to play the play-in and another play-in game.
You act
to
like
get
they
in.
can't win that.
It's one and done.
I know,
Yeah,
but you,
so-
act, you act like they can't win that.
No, I don't think they can.
I think they can, but they will
Because
be
it's
very
one and
dangerous
done.
when they make the playoffs.
It's one and done.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think that they are not. They're not going to expect them to just gel all of a sudden. They haven't played it all together. This team has not even played
Well, they
together.
weren't jumping
These guys
because-
So-
play in the summer with each other. What are you talking
Who?
about?
What are you talking about? They don't have Hard no more. They
They
got
don't need Harden.
they
That's
got
what I'm saying. They don't need
Simmons now. They don't know what you're going to get out of him.
Kyrie played with
We
Durant.
don't know
all
what
the time.
Durant's going to give you if he doesn't get hurt again. They got too many question marks. I just don't see them.
That was a freakish injury.
I would not be surprised if they miss the playoffs altogether, or if they do get in, they get into the play-in and they lose in the play-in and they get eliminated before they get into the tournament.
just want
Or
them.
they do get in the tournament and they lose in the first round.
just want them.
I don't see them getting too far after that.
You just want them to.
I say best case scenario for them is a first round exit. They win they get in the tournament, they get in the play-in, win the play-in, they get in the first round, and they lose to Miami or Philly in the first round.
Nah, I don't really think that.
Okay? Right now, where are they standing at? They're number 8. And they are only, 2 games behind Charlotte for number 9. And, a game in the loss column behind behind Atlanta?
Yep.
Then you look at Washington, which is only 2 games in the loss column behind Brooklyn. So I mean that little mix up there, Brooklyn can see themselves outside looking in.
They don't have Bradley Beal, so that's
so you never
Washington's
know.
not that big of a threat right now.
Exactly.
And we see what New York is doing. I'm not worried about everybody else's.
Oh,
below that.
okay, no. Anything 11 and up was what we're talking about.
Yeah.
12 and down, the Knicks.
I think
We already talked
Julius
about that.
Randle looks super depressed every time he.
Tibbs is going to get fired. Oh, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to throw any shade or extra salt on the wound.
Too late.
But it looks like Derrick Rose had a setback,
Yeah.
so he's going to be missing some more time. So he's not going to be back again. He's not going to be back for another few weeks.
Yeah, so that's going to be a
But
problem.
he's not on this team. And
Well, he was helping the
Chicago
team, giving the
fans
team
need
the
to stop
spark.
talking about retiring his jersey, please.
Oh,
Stop
really?
talking about that.
Why would we retire his jersey?
I don't know. Why would you even do that?
I don't know. In my opinion, I just don't see why we would do
It's
that.
not smart.
The Bulls, the smartest move the Bulls made was not picking him up at the beginning of the season. Thank
Yeah,
God.
and
Thank God New York and Tibbs convinced the Knicks to, you know what? We got to pay this guy $43 million for 2 more years.
Please.
So thank you, Tibbs, for doing that because that $43 million is doing you well. Him not even there. Another 2 weeks out with injury.
So
Yep.
basically, yeah, that's what's been going on with the Bulls, guys. Just a lot of that. A lot of just no transitional defense, no rotation on defense, no letting people know about defense. They let go of the players. So it's going to be the same song with this team.
Well, we'll see what happens. And then,
Moving on.
Yep, moving on.
Well, I mean, I still had a couple of things I want to touch up on.
Yeah, go ahead.
NBA wise.
Yeah, just moving on from that subject.
Yeah, we were talking about. I think it was last episode, or a couple episodes ago, about the Suns and the impact of Chris Paul being away. I mean, we can
It's
already
dope.
see the impact already. They've lost the last 2 games. I'm not sure if they're playing tonight or. It doesn't look good as far as like their standing goes because they're going to be playing some top teams for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So I think that their standing, because right now I'm looking, they're in first place.
There's still 6
by
games.
6 games.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They haven't lost any ground.
No,
Half the game.
And then again, Golden State has been
tonight.
losing too. They just lost tonight.
Yeah. So Phoenix, to me, this injury is going to hurt them. It is going to hurt them. But I don't think it's going to affect their playoff seeding. Now, depending on if Chris Paul does come back, he'll probably be back in time for the playoffs. My thing is,
Okay,
is he
how
gonna
is it
make-
going to hurt him?
well, they're going to need him there. If they're going to have any kind of success in the playoffs, they're going to need him.
Okay, but you're saying for the season, since Chris
I-
Paul's
I-
not there, how is it going to hurt him? You said it's going to hurt Phoenix.
I think it's
Suns, so how is it
going to hurt him in the playoffs because
How?
I
You
don't
said in the
think
playoffs.
I don't think he's going to come right back in and just be the same Chris Paul. Again, you're missing 2 months of the season. That matters. You don't think it does? It matters. I
He
don't care
started
who
being
you
off
are.
at the All-Star game.
I don't care who you are. No playing time in 2 months, and you're talking
It's
about
just
coming
a
back.
game.
And you're talking about coming
Chris.
back for but you're not playing.
You can run.
You're not playing. You're not playing. You're not playing against competition. You're not in the game. You're talking about the highest level now in the playoffs because you look at him. He's not coming back into
The
the
playoffs slow down, Frank.
He's not coming.
They don't speed up.
He's not coming back into the playoffs.
The playoffs
okay?
slow down, Frank.
He's
They
not.
don't speed up.
He's not coming back until the playoffs.
They slow
okay?
down, Frank.
Now, I was saying this before. I don't think it's really gonna matter.
Of course not.
Period in the playoffs either because I don't see them making it out of the West anyway. But
Why?
they're gonna need him in that first round.
Why they're not going to make it out of the West?
Golden State and Memphis. That's all I got to say.
So you think Memphis is strong enough to beat the Phoenix Suns?
I do. At this
How?
point, I do.
On what?
I believe they're a better team right now.
On what? On what side? What do you think they're
On
better
both
team?
both sides of the ball. I mean, look at this. I mean, they're only Phoenix is 49-12. Okay, yes, they won that 9 games in a row, whatever. But now they don't have Chris Paul for 2 months. Now you got Chris Paul coming back in the playoffs, but they don't know what you're going to get out of him when he does come back.
What do you think
The
of
first,
that? What do you
the
think
first
of
2
Booker?
games he'll be rusty, But he'll still do his thing, and then by the third game, he'll be back into
He'll be back.
into
And it's the
back up to
playoffs,
speed.
man. The playoffs
This
slow
man,
down.
this man is an NBA legend. Man.
I
He's a point god.
believe.
All right.
I
Come on,
believe
man.
Phoenix is not coming out of the West.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
That's cornballs right there, bro.
Memphis Grizzlies are good, and no disrespect to Ja Morant, but you know what's going to happen in the playoffs.
Exactly.
They're gonna focus mainly on him. They're gonna shut him
They're
down.
gonna shut that stuff
and
down.
when they shut him down,
Well, when they play against a team like Golden State, I believe that will happen.
okay.
Now the thing is, now good news. There is good news for Phoenix though, because Phoenix is probably going to stay at #1 seed, so they're not going to have to worry about Golden State and Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis and Golden State will have to play each other out, and the winner will play against Phoenix in the finals.
What do you think about Devin Booker?
I think that without Chris Paul, he is
Is a nobody?
I'm not going to say he's a nobody.
He's a good player.
Thank
but
you.
He's a good
He's
player,
a
but
baller.
Because you're just jumping right
He
over
is a
him.
baller.
You act like if Chris Paul's not there, the Phoenix Suns is just gone. That's
You know,
it.
but they need that extra.
I
ingredient.
believe
They
they
can use that
now-
because right now he's playing point guard.
But what are they doing to him right now? Now they're focusing directly on him, and he's not able to do what
He's
he was
dishing
able
it
to
out.
do.
He's dishing out. They do need that extra. They just don't have
He was
that
a
extra
scorer.
score. That's the
He
problem.
was a scorer.
But I don't think they're just going to be a easy out.
They're
I'm not saying they're going to be
They're
an
not.
easy out, but I believe the way it's looked like it's going to be is going to be number 2 and number 3 are going to be. They'll probably flip flop between Golden State and Memphis. I think Golden State's going to hold on to that, and I think they're going to be number 2. They'll play Memphis in the second round, and they'll probably beat Memphis in the second round. Phoenix is not beating Golden State in the 7-game series. They're not beating the Golden State. With or without Chris Paul,
I
it will
hope
not
this does
matter.
happen.
Devin Booker is not going to
I
matter.
hope this happens.
So you think because Golden State have a lot more shooters than Phoenix does, that's why you think Golden State could beat them?
Better shooters, more experienced team, championship caliber team, championship coaching.
Phoenix
So-
just went to the finals
Right,
last year.
just like
Phoenix didn't win.
It
We're
doesn't
talking.
matter.
We're talking about the
They
core.
went there.
Yeah, we're talking about the core. Golden State Warriors core. Have won how many championships together?
That doesn't mean
How many?
But they don't have
How
the
many?
same,
It's
they
not
don't
the
have the
same
same
exact
players.
It's the same.
It's just
Basically, the core
And
is the
they're not-
same.
and it's not the same
It's
health.
just-
And they got Andrew Wiggins to add on to that. So come on now, they do got the same team for the most part. They got.
Draymond Green's been hurt.
He'll be back by then.
So
He's gonna be-
I'm
he'll
gonna
be
use
back
that
by
same
then.
quote as Chris
He'll be back
Paul.
by then.
Green's gonna take a little while because he's not in basketball shape.
It may take him a little while, but you know who is going to be in basketball
So
shape?
it's gonna
Klay
hurt the team.
Thompson
Yeah,
and Steph
he's
Curry.
playing like a killer. Yeah,
And we're talking about these guys have won championships together for how many years? And we're talking Phoenix Suns who, let's be honest, they struggled against Milwaukee in the finals last year.
Just like everybody
right.
else.
Okay.
did.
Exactly,
Everybody
because you
else
got
struggled.
the Greek freak there. There was nobody to stop the Greek freak.
And
Right.
well, let's be honest. Last year,
Yeah, let's be honest.
they came out of the West because of who? The Lakers won the West because of who? Because there were injuries to Golden State. Now, I called this out beginning of the season, even last season. I said the team that you better watch out for is a team that still hasn't really been knocked off their crown, and that's Golden State. Is still the kings, in my opinion, of the West. Until you knock them out with their core players, which no team has not done yet.
But
They
did.
are they no they were not because they didn't
Who
make it. They
went to
didn't
the
make
finals
it.
last
They
year?
didn't. They weren't in the playoffs because they were injured.
They're the kings of
So
the. They're
no,
the kings of the
Yeah.
West.
the king. Come on. The
They're
real
the
king.
kings
The
of
real kings of the West are the Golden
Who are
State
the Western
Warriors.
Not
Conference?
the West of 2
I'm
years
sorry.
ago.
Who's the
Okay.
Western Conference champions from last year?
Phoenix
Oh,
right
so they're
now.
the kings.
And,
Yeah.
okay,
They're
okay.
holding that.
Well,
Yeah.
believe me.
I believe you.
When they do play, and they're gonna play each other in the conference finals,
Okay.
more than likely,
Mm-hmm.
Golden State will beat Phoenix.
I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, me too. Then.
Oh, I'm excited to see it too because I can't
I will
wait
make it
to
a
tell
point.
you.
I will make it a
tell you
point
this.
to be here for the majority
Oh.
of these games so I can watch them.
I'll be here to watch the games with you.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, I'm right about this. It's,
All right.
it's called the eye test, gentlemen.
Yeah,
And,
test?
and I mentioned this in football
Your
too.
eye test
You
is not
know,
that good.
you kind
I
of know
see
what's
what
coming
you
out.
like.
Okay.
There's more youth on the Phoenix Suns as far as the players go than the Golden State Warriors. One, more health. Who's to say Klay Thompson's still going to be running around like he's running around?
Who
now?
says
Who
who
he's not
sells
gonna
who
have-
says Chris Paul's going to be healthy come around.
You act like
They
Phoenix
said
don't
he'll
get
be
no
fine
dogs
now.
on
They
there,
did.
man.
Come
They
on
said he'll be
now.
back in 6 or 8
Phoenix
weeks.
is a good.
But then when he comes back, what's going to
defensive
happen
team,
then?
too.
Because Chris Paul has a history of being injured in the playoffs.
If anything, that's going to be a good
Right?
matchup. Phoenix Suns and Golden State.
It is going to be a
Warriors.
good matchup.
That's going to be a very good because
Yes.
Phoenix got really good defense.
And I believe,
Very good defense.
and I don't have him coming out. I got Golden State winning the
Very
West.
interesting.
I mean, I called this out from at the end of last season.
Well, I'm keeping my Phoenix Suns coming up out of there because
Well, that's a big change from your prediction in October. You said the Lakers were going
the
to win.
Lakers are not looking good right now. So unfortunately,
How are the Lakers doing? They're 27-33.
yeah, I just watched them lose. Yeah,
They're 6 games
another
under
game.
500. Oh my
They're looking
God.
so
And I was
bad
hearing
right now.
your boy Davis wants to come to Chicago.
I don't want.
That's
him here.
okay. We don't need him.
I don't
We
want
don't
him
want
here.
him.
He's just gonna be sitting down in his street clothes.
That's
just
like Derrick Rose.
Derrick
Why don't
Rose
you
was
come
sitting
on
here.
now?
We're gonna be paying him a ton of money, and he's gonna be sitting around.
We're gonna praise it because they're
looking
from
super
here,
fresh
because they're local.
in his
So
gear,
you know,
in his street gear, basically watching everybody play. No, man, we don't need him here. I'm good. I am an Anthony Davis fan. I am happy that he brought the Lakers a championship with LeBron James and all. But at the end of the day, I think after he got that championship, he has been lazy.
if he
He's
want,
no longer hungry.
oh, and by the way, if he wanted to
That's
play here, he had his chance a couple of years ago. Why did he
That's
come here
right.
then?
That's right.
I didn't hear him. I didn't hear him a couple of years ago talking about, oh, I want to go play for the Bulls. You signed with the Lakers.
Let me ask you guys something.
So
Let me ask you guys something. If you had a chance to get Zion, would you take
No.
No,
Nope.
not at this point.
Greg
no.
Oden 2.0? No, thank you. He is
I don't know
Greg
who's worse at
Oden
this point.
2.0.
Anthony Davis or Zion? At least Anthony Davis does
Zion.
play.
Zion.
Does play. He just gets hurt. Zion is. I don't know. He just
So this man started 82 games in 3 years. Man,
the same as Greg Oden, right?
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg Oden just was like 3 games shorter than him. I mean, so basically it's about the
I
same thing in 3 years.
Deja vu. I mean,
Same
damn.
thing.
It's like
Why would we bring him here? He's 320, 330 something pounds. His foot just cannot handle all that weight. He's a dynamic player. He likes to jump. He plays down low. He is very active with his feet. But we bring him here, he's going to play what, 20, 30 games and then plantar fasciitis. I can't play. Or I broke another bone in my foot because I'm too heavy. And he's going to be sitting down and we're going to be hurting paying him for rehab. So no, I'll pass on that.
Well, to me personally, I would give it a chance. Only if we didn't have to give much for him. Say like if we gave up like Kobe White and like a couple draft picks.
You want to give up Kobe White for Zion?
Now this is just hypothetical. All right. Kobe White and a couple draft picks. Maybe a change of scenery. Maybe hopefully he'd get himself back. But look, you will have Zach, you have DeRozan, you have Vooch, you got your boy who likes the women, and then we got Zach. I mean, I'm sorry, and we'll get Zion. So just imagine if he did come back healthy, that would be killer.
Oh, yeah. That's a big word right
I don't
there.
know.
If he
We
comes
don't know
back
what he can do.
healthy.
Yeah,
We don't know what he can do.
But I mean,
We do.
it's not something I would.
He hasn't
I wouldn't-
played enough in the
I
NBA
wouldn't
for
do
me to
it.
know
It's
what he can do.
hypothetical.
In those 82 games that he played, he did average 25 or 26 points per game. That is his average.
Plus, he'll give you that like strength that you need down low.
Yeah. He's
I'm sorry. He just right now he's a bust, and I see nothing past him.
Understand.
He can't get healthy.
This is hypothetical. It's not something that's going to
I'd say no.
This is something-
I'd say absolutely no to that trade.
You don't have to
That's
look so
understandable.
disgusting.
Absolutely no to
That's
him, and
understandable.
absolutely no to Anthony Davis. You know, the last thing I want to see
I would
in this,
take him over.
the last thing I want to see here is injured players again. I'm tired of that.
I
You
mean,
know, how
that's-
many years
it
we have to
wouldn't-
sit there with Derrick Rose?
It
for God's
wouldn't. It
sakes?
wouldn't
Oh,
happen.
God.
It wouldn't happen. You act like it's really
Ugh.
going to happen, but it's
Ugh.
just the fact of the matter. Just think about it. Because a lot of players, Chris Paul was in New Orleans. He didn't want to be there. He got out of there. But I'm just thinking, if we were able to get him and like hopefully change that injury, that concept, make him lose weight, all that other good stuff. Just imagine the strength, because he's very athletic.
He was. I used to watch him in the high school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then I
McDonald's
watched
dunk
him
contest.
when he was playing dude. So
Yeah.
it's just like, man, that
I don't
was
know. Are we
dope.
ever going to see him play on the court again?
We will, and hopefully
Not this
he'll-
year.
Next year.
Yeah.
probably in another uniform because I don't think he wants to be there.
That's what I think too.
They got CJ McCollum over there, and over a week later, they asked CJ, hey, have you been in contact with Zion? Nope, I haven't been. He hasn't reached out to me. We haven't talked. I mean, if I'm him and I want to be there, hey, I'm calling CJ right away because that's a star. That man does put up 25 points a night on his own. He's a shot maker, shot creator, dynamic player. So, I mean, if he wanted to be there, I'm pretty sure he would have reached out to CJ.
That could just be a bad place to have a basketball team. That's all. Bad place to have a basketball team.
The last thing I wanted to talk about was the Lakers. With LeBron James, I was really disappointed because if you look on Facebook, you see so many people hating on LeBron. I'm a LeBron lover. The man is...
So are you too, right?
He's great, all around. The man I've seen him in so many finals. Yes, he didn't win all of them. I already know what you're gonna say, but the man went to 3 different teams, brought them all championships.
8 straight finals.
8 straight finals that we sat there and we watched him play. I mean, that is hard to achieve. There are players that never made a finals in their career to like Chris Paul to last year. Craziness. I was really disappointed because they were losing. They were getting whooped yesterday, and the fans were booing them. And I wasn't happy with the responses. Like, LeBron, I know you're the man, but this thing that you're doing with the crowd, pointing people out and getting them kicked out and interacting with the crowd negatively, it's making you look, a little soft. It's making you look a little soft. I'm sorry. I didn't like all that yesterday. I understood with those other two kids in Indiana that you kicked them out because I heard that what they were talking about was your kids. Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. That has no place. But these people are, hey, maybe you should be doing this. Hey, maybe you should, put this player in, or you should sit this guy down. Someone just telling you that there's no merit for you to be sitting there telling them, what do you know about basketball? What do you know about basketball besides the ball going in? I mean, seriously, the basketball's been around. They follow it. They're fans. That's what they do. They've been doing this for years. As long as I've been watching basketball, there are hecklers out there, and that's what they do. They come out there to heckle. So why so mad that someone's talking to you and booing you? This is the product you're putting out there. 17 turnovers in a half. You deserve to get booed. You know this. I hope not to see that again. And Russell Westbrook or Trevor Ariza calling people bitches. Sorry for that, but I mean that's what these guys were calling people in the stands, fans that paid money to come watch them play and win. So I was really disappointed by that. So
yeah, instead of calling them bitches, why don't you just get out there and win games? You're 27-33.
Yeah.
You are currently in 8th place.
Ninth.
Oh, 9th place. I'm sorry, 9th place. There are only 3 games or 4 games out of it completely.
Yeah.
And at the rate that they're going, they're 3-7 in the last 10, 2-game losing streak, and you currently see the Pelicans on a 2-game winning streak. I mean,
they're playing tonight. They're playing the Mavericks.
I wouldn't be surprised. Again, I would not be surprised if they don't make it at all. They completely miss the playoffs altogether.
I see it like this: the players are wrong for saying stuff like that to the fans, but also the fans should be kind of respectful to a point. It's okay to boo because you pay. I'm okay with that. I'm not a person against booing, but you don't need to call people out of their names. I don't care what kind of fan you are and stuff like that. They're still human beings. They still need respect. So I can tell LeBron, hey, you suck. But if I'm not using profanity and stuff like that, there's no reason for him to come back on me like that. Now, if he came back on me because of like that, that's on him. But I feel like a lot of times fans, they do a lot of that stuff just to provoke it. And I don't think that's right. That's
what you call a heckler, Ralph.
Yeah, but it's one thing being a heckler, and it's another thing being respectful of it.
It's hard to be telling someone they suck nicely.
No, I'm not saying that. Dude.
You can suck. I mean, that's what I used to go to games. I used to hear that. That's how you heckle the player. They missed. They did something wrong.
I don't think you need to do that. I don't think you need to say MF or this and that.
I watched plenty of games with you. You were upset with players.
Here.
And you were talking about you effing suck and
Here.
you know.
Now that I know live game, I never went to a live game and said somebody effing sucked. I never said that. Never said that.
It's
You
a
got
fan.
Well, the bottom line is they need to play better. If you want them to stop saying you suck, stop calling you names your own fans, then you need to be better than 27 and 33. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, but that's still no
You know?
excuse for that, man. That's no excuse.
I mean, they want to see the team. They're not used to seeing the team
some fans
losing.
can get out of line, dude. Just like what
They can.
Carmelo Anthony.
You
They
don't-
can.
You don't. Yeah. Look, but that's all because Jordan. I'm sorry, not Jordan. That's because LeBron started the whole pointing out fans thing. I think Carmelo had someone kicked out.
Yeah, he
of
had
the
those
game
two
also.
guys kicked out in Philly.
You
I
know,
believe.
that's starting to be something it's more empowering. Hey, you know what? I'm not liking you, hating on me over there. So you know what?
If you're not
You
physically
gotta
putting your
bounce.
hands
You
on
gotta go.
them,
So I'm not feeling that.
stuff like that, then and you're on the road,
Didn't-
the security I'm not throwing him out. What am I throwing him out for? Did he throw something at you? Did he put his hands on you?
Let's go back.
No, I'm not. I'm not throwing them out.
Let's go back to the Jordan era that we all watch these games, right? Let's go back to that. I mean, we were kids, but still, we still watch these games. Didn't Jordan get heckled? I'm pretty sure he was getting heckled in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was getting heckled big time in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Fans were cussing at him. They were yelling at him. He took it, and he took it as a challenge. He even told you this, and I don't remember which one of his videos or movies that he had did. I'm not sure if it was Come Fly With Me or whatnot, but he said he used to use that as fuel. Like the fans talking smack to him to prove
These
that.
players
show
can't
them,
handle
hey,
that stuff nowadays.
Yeah,
They just can't handle
it's
it.
Different,
These
different era, man.
millennials, they can't
How-
deal with
how's
it.
it. We're still human beings. Like, what does that mean? It's a different era.
Because
We
it's
still-
their feelings are hurt easily. They're spoiled. They're pampered. They give them everything now. It's not like it was back then. They were made tougher than those days. They're not made tough now.
I mean, mentally, you have to admit.
They're soft
You
like
have to-
tissue.
you
That's
have
why it's
to
called the
admit.
National Boys Association now. I mean, come on.
Well, I'm not going that far as
I
far as
mean,
that goes.
it comes on to
But-
everything. Everything is softer now. Technology got better, but the mentality's got weaker and softer, and I could say other words on here, but it wouldn't be appropriate.
Yeah,
ladies and
thank you. I
gentlemen.
appreciate it. Because this is
So-
a family podcast thing, Frank.
Well, it's for mature.
It's a
for artists.
family podcast, bruh.
Anyway, you wanted to mention something too about. Are we done with the NBA?
Well, yeah, NBA wise, I'm done. I'm done with that. Isaiah
Oh.
Thomas got a 10-day contract. That's Frank's favorite
Yeah.
player. So
Isaiah Thomas.
he got a spot. He got a spot on the Hornets. That's my last bit of news. for the NBA.
He's killing it. I just think, like we kind of spoke through that pre-show
Size.
fist fight. Yeah, it was. I think it's just his size, man. That's the only thing that's kind of.
Then why is it when he goes to the G League or he goes to any other team, he lights them up, putting up 30-something, 40-some points? Just a couple of days ago, he was in a G League game that he put up 39 points. That actually made it was newsworthy that he was able to do that. But boom, 2 days later,
He is better than those people, and he is better than a lot of players in the NBA. But
He
it's
used
just
to be an
the
NBA
size.
player. You gotta remember, you make it in the NBA, only 1%?
It's around his height.
No, only 1% of basketball players make the NBA.
But no,
1%.
it's not even talking about
So,
that. But
no,
it's
no,
just the height. The
but I'm
height
saying-
advantage gives you a better
No,
chance.
but what I'm
than-
saying is, if you're playing pro, if you're playing in the NBA, which is only 1% of the players do, you're in the top pro leagues. Now you go and you play in some G League, some lower league. Of course, you're most likely going to shine in those other leagues.
Well, yes,
It's
and
not
no,
like
but
you're in the
it's
NBA, you're
more-
playing
it's
much
more
less
the height.
talent.
It's more the height. It's more. The
Yeah,
height.
but they got 6'5", 6'8", 10 guys in those
Yeah,
other
G
leagues
League.
too.
And I watched a couple
You
of
know,
G
and
League games. Those guys are pretty good.
It comes
too.
down to the
They're not
talent.
bad. They're way
Isaiah
better than
Thomas
other
is
guys that
an
just didn't
NBA
make
talent.
it.
He has
right.
He has experience in the
And there
NBA.
probably
So
a lot of the players in the G League that could make it in the NBA. They just didn't get that look.
That's how they keep getting these 10-day contracts with all
Right.
these teams. Like, oh, you know what? LeVar Johnson is so good. I'm gonna bring him in, and he's gonna, he's been averaging 25 in the G League, and they give him 10-day contracts to see what they can do. I mean,
Right.
we as the Bulls had a few 10-day contract guys that became regulars on our rotation just last year.
Especially, I was about to say, especially losing years.
Exactly.
But yeah, man.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Let's move on from NBA because we we dragged this, and it's been a good talk about NBA, but
We're just spending like the last 10 minutes talking about
NFL and my man Aaron Rodgers.
There you go.
So, Aaron Rodgers. I like Aaron Rodgers. I respect him as a player. Frank over here hates him, but the man's great. He does great things with the ball. Super Bowl champion one time. He's won the MVP the last 2 years for good reason. He threw 85 touchdowns versus 9 interceptions in the past 2 years. That's ridiculous. So yes, he is MVP. But my issue with him is this: he wants a ring, another ring.
He's coming back to Green
He
Bay.
should have gotten one last year, in my opinion. But they fell short. They looked. I don't know. They just looked flat in that game, and to let San Francisco, of all people, beat you, that was really disappointing.
Jimmy G.
So this man here
Good defense.
says he wants a ring, but somehow you want to be the highest paid player in the NFL. Yes, you deserve it, but at this point in your career, Mr. Rodgers, you've already made so much money. You have endorsements. Every time I look on TV, I see a commercial with you in it. You're making your money already. Why would you ask the team to pay you that much money, and then you have a wide receiver that wants to also be one of the highest paid wide receivers? When you take up this much of your team's payroll, what do you think is going to happen to the people that have been defending you at the age of 37? Some of those players are going to have to go away, so you won't be so well defended. Father Time is, unbeatable. I mean, at some point you're going to slow down. The little scrambles that you do outside the pocket and get those balls gone, they're going to start catching you, man. Why do you want to be paid the most and lose quality players around you? In my opinion, you should take a little pay cut. Hey, I'm here for a ring right now. Get some more quality players around me, some more receivers that can catch the ball besides this one guy that might get hurt and might not make the rest of the season. I'm not hoping that's what happens, but that is a possibility. This is football, not for long. I'm not happy with the little decision you made about wanting to be the highest paid player because you're harming the Green Bay Packers. What do you guys have?
Well, what I will say
We'll be here for
is
2 hours for this.
no. I'll be very quick about it. I mean, you can't blame him for wanting to be the highest paid player in the NFL. I mean, yes, he's probably earned it. It's a business. He wants to make money. Now, if he wants to win, then he would sacrifice it and stay on Green Bay. He'll take a pay cut. But here's what I think is happening. He's asking for that money. Okay. He's asking to be the highest paid player. He knows damn well that if you make me the highest paid player and Green Bay franchises Davante Adams are already going to be well over the cap, they're going to have to make some serious cuts, okay, to make that happen. What I think is happening is I think Aaron Rodgers knows exactly what he's doing. He's purposely telling them he wants to be the highest paid player because this is his way of getting out of Green Bay without making him trade them. This is what I believe, because he's like, well, you cannot afford me. I want max money. I want to be the highest paid player. And I know you're not going to be able to pay me and pay Davante Adams max money.
Boy, this
so this is his way of saying, well, you can't afford me, so now get me out of here. Trade me. Let me go. I want to play here, but you guys can't afford me. I'm not taking the pay cut. I want to be the highest paid. So I believe that he's doing this on purpose so he can get out of Green Bay, not make it look bad like, hey, look, I wanted to play here, but Green Bay wouldn't pay me the highest paid to get here. So I'm going to go to Denver or San Francisco, whatever, where they're going to make me the highest paid player in the NFL. And Green Bay will be able to have money to pay Davante Adams, franchise him, and somehow get another quarterback to Jordan Love or whoever they get to get on. That's his way of getting the hell out of Green Bay.
Okay.
And that's what I think he's doing all this for.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you guys this. What team do you think Aaron Rodgers should go to then?
I think...
And I have a follow-up question. Go ahead.
I think he could probably go to... I'd probably say Denver or Pittsburgh.
Okay. What about you, Mike?
I see him meshing well if he went to San Francisco.
Okay. San Francisco. Now, with that said, you think he has an easier road getting back to the Super Bowl with those teams, or with Green Bay? Because I think Green Bay. You know why? Bears suck. Lions suck. Minnesota sucks. You win the division, you have a better chance to get.
But he's been doing it the last 11, 12 years, and has not gotten him ananywhere.
Exactly. It gets him to the playoffs.
He gets him to the playoffs, but it's not getting him anywhere. Though.
It is. It's get him to the playoffs. So if you get to the playoffs, you have a chance to win.
He wants to get to the Super Bowl.
Okay. That's his best chance of
so
getting back to the
if he
Super
has
Bowl.
a team, if he has a team that gives him a top tier defense like a Pittsburgh or
who does he have to go
Denver,
through against Denver?
In Denver, what? Oakland?
Yes, that's a good team.
Kansas City?
That's an awesome team.
Okay.
What do you mean okay?
They're no different than anybody else. They showed that to you already.
No.
So
that's a hard road to pass. That's a hard road to get through. If you stay in Green,
he doesn't want to stay there.
He does wants to stay, Frank. He's gonna come back. Sorry.
Okay.
He's coming back.
I don't think he will. I think this is his way of wanting to get out of there.
No player will say that just so they can get out of there. If they're gonna,
yes, you can. You can make your team make. No. I'm gonna stay, but guess what? I want to be paid the highest pay. I know you guys are against the wall in the cap, and you're already over the cap.
Leave. Why would he do that when he, like you just said, he can go to teams that will
because
pay
Green Bay,
him.
because if Green Bay's gonna they're gonna go all in with this guy. So you know what, Aaron Rodgers, we don't want to lose you. So yes, we're gonna pay you max money because we're keeping you until you're gonna retire as a Green Bay Packer. So we're gonna give you max money. Make sure you retire as a Green Bay Packer. And now, what does that leave them space-wise for everybody else? If they franchise Devontae Adams, they're they're going to be even more over the cap. Now, you got to remember, when you're over the cap in the NFL, you got to pay all that penalties and the tax and the penalties. Green Bay is not a large market team. Let's not forget that. They are a very small market team. So they are going to use up all their money and all their capital and not going to have any players to pick up. They're going to pick up low-end, bottom of the line players.
Right.
So
if he did go to San Francisco,
look at the NFC West. What do you notice there?
What do you notice?
That's a good division, is what I say.
But what do you notice in that division?
The quarterback is not in Arizona right now. He's kind of talking about he wants to leave.
What I'm talking about in the NFC West is you have the LA Rams that made the playoffs.
Super Bowl champion now.
You have the Arizona Cardinals that made the playoffs.
Yes.
And you have the San Francisco 49ers that made the playoffs.
And Seattle had an off year, too. Let's be honest.
Who's to tell you?
Seattle had an off year, right?
Who's to say that if he went out there that he couldn't make the playoffs? Because all three teams in that division seem to have made the playoffs.
Yes, they're very good teams. But like I said, you're going to have to go through a little bit harder road.
You'll have to go through the same road in the NFC as you were in the AFC then. But you still have to play all of these teams.
For him to win this division is a lot harder for him to win NFC North.
But he's been in this division his whole career, so he's succeeded as much as he's going to succeed in the NFC North.
He made the playoffs. So if
he's only been to one Super Bowl.
Okay, so but he made it.
He had a chance.
He made it.
Yeah, like you said, it may be time for him in his mind. He wants to change the scenery. He's still, in my opinion, I think he's still bitter for Green Bay for the way that they treated him the last couple of years when they drafted Jordan Love.
He's not bitter. He's not bitter.
So I think that I think he wants to get out of there. He wants to leave.
If he wanted to leave, he would have left.
If he went to the Steelers, he'd have a better chance because he only has the Bengals, which had a great year this year. Who's to say they're going to have the same year?
Baltimore's going to come back.
Pittsburgh has a history of keeping their teams competitive. More competitive.
So if he went out there, he'd have a much better chance. They have a dynamic defense, and they got a great coach.
Yeah, the Bengals are not no slouch. They may fall off next year, but they're no slouch. They got Joe.
Yep.
Did you hear?
Cleveland has a good defense.
What team was that talking about?
Baltimore is okay. They're gonna come back this year too.
Did you hear a little about the Mitch Trubisky news?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that Mitch Trubisky news?
Yeah, I sent you the text.
Well, I was watching it on TV too. What team is it that you might be interested in going to?
For as a starter?
Yeah. Help me out here, Ralph.
I'm not gonna help you out here.
Help me out here.
Sorry.
Trubisky had.
You made fun of him too much.
Well, he was garbage here. Let's be honest.
Not helping you. It was not that man's fault.
I don't know about all that.
Nope.
Well,
he had a lot of chances to prove us wrong, and unfortunately, different coaches, different quarterback coaches, different offensive coordinators. He never really had a chance to have like a stable, stable playbook to look at, because every year he had a different coordinator and a different quarterback coach. So, but even then, they did try to build around him, and I feel like he was a bust.
well, I
Right
think
now, he's not on any team. He just has a chance to pick up.
well, he's a backup on.
I thought he was a Buffalo
he's
Bills.
a Buffalo Bill. He's a backup.
He's a
Remember, he
backup.
killed us in the preseason.
That's the only playing time he got.
So he's just put him out there just so he can kill us, and then
Yeah.
after that, he just sat on the bench and watched. My
Well,
man.
we'll see. We will see. I think Aaron Rodgers is good as gone
Okay.
from Green Bay, and I think he's doing this
He
on
wants him
purpose.
gone.
He's doing it on purpose to force their hand, make me the highest paid player in the NFL.
I disagree with that, but that's all right. Go ahead, finish your point.
No, my point is I think he's doing it on purpose. He wants to force Green Bay's hand. Either you pay me the highest paid in the NFL, and or let me go.
Okay,
right.
whatever.
All right. Well, I think we hit our hour mark today. We'll be back again. We're going to be following through with some of the news. Oh, actually, before we go, someone asked us a question
That's right.
about Larsa Pippen
That's right.
and Future making this track about her. Now, I remember this happening maybe a year plus ago, so this is kind of an older question. But yeah, I mean, Larsa Pippen, she's basically been getting around with rappers, basketball players, anyone that's a somebody, anyone that could have been around Kim Kardashian at some point, because she was besties with her until Kim let her go. I mean, I don't know. I don't see any big deal about him making a track about her. They were together for a little bit. Future's track record. Future's got like how many kids with how many different women, even including Ciara. That he's got beef with Russell Wilson. Anytime Russell Wilson walks into every time Future walks into the room, Russell Wilson leaves right away with Ciara. This happened at the Super Bowl. Future walked in, they left because they know it's gonna be trouble. But Larsa Pippen, she's just right now at this point in her life, she's just looking for all the attention she can. She probably feels like she could be a Kim Kardashian type, chick. What did she do? She cheated. She made this guy. What NBA player was that? He's this young guy. She cheated on.
I know.
She cheated. She made
Forgot his name.
She made this guy cheat on his family. He's married with kids with her. This man left his wife and moved in with her. Bought a place with her, stayed with her, and then 3-4 months later, nah, he's too young. We're not in the same mindset, so I'm gone. And yet this guy left his family for this woman apologizing on Instagram everywhere, like, please take me back. As far as she goes, I don't really care too much for her. To me, she looks like she's a parasite, in my opinion.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I mean, she's just been going around.
We'll end it there.
Kim let her go. Pippen let her go.
Well, I don't really have anything to say as far as this question goes. It's non-sports related, really.
Well, she was married to Scottie Pippen,
Yeah.
and someone asked us the question, so I just want to answer it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't know what you want me to say. I mean,
Nothing.
not
All
much.
Well, then that's that. Then.
What I would say is not appropriate to say on the show, but it is what it is.
All right. Well, that.
What do you guys
answers-
say, Ralph? What do you guys say about it? I don't really have an opinion to say. I
don't know her.
I don't listen to Future. Scottie Pippen's been, is a bitter, what. His wife, was his wife number 2 or 3? I don't even know. With him, so she gets around, I guess.
Okay, thank you for joining us on our family show.
Well, what did you have to say about that? You want to answer
There's nothing I
the
have to
question?
say. I don't know her, man. I don't know her. I really don't know her. So.
All righty then. All right. Well, please leave more questions, and we'll be glad to answer them if we feel like it, I guess.
Well, if it's
I mean,
sports,
people are
if it's,
asking questions. It's our
sure,
show.
yeah,
Why,
if it's-
why are we not answering
No,
questions?
Well, no,
you
no,
said that.
it-
You said I guess that's what
sports opinions with
That's
regular
crazy.
guys.
It's
So
an opinion.
let's sports questions.
Okay.
One thing I will say is,
do you
I
wanna
know we don't
say,
really talk too
R&B?
much about, is looks like the baseball season will not be starting on time this
That's
season.
true.
They have canceled some baseball games.
We're not talking about the Cubs, man. Only the
Well, I'm not
Sox.
saying about the Cubs. I'm just saying baseball in
Sox,
general.
yeah.
They're still in a lockout
Period.
period.
The first 2 series are going to be
Just
Yeah.
kidding, just kidding. We'll
Or
talk about the
canceled.
Cubs.
You know, so the Cubs won't be starting the season at Wrigley on time this year, or Sox won't be starting
no one will.
season on time this year. So that's to be continued.
Yep.
We don't really talk too much about baseball on here, but if it's a kind of important news and it needs to be mentioned, we'll definitely mention
No,
about
this is
it.
important. This hasn't
Yeah.
happened since 1995. I mean, why not talk about it? I mean, we're talking about MLB not starting on time. I mean, there's so many people out there going out. You know, they want preseason or they want them spring.
Yeah.
Spring.
I
tickets.
feel
They go to
that
Arizona to go watch them play. And
I feel it's
everything.
going to be longer. I'm not saying they're not going to have a season this year, but it's probably going to be
season.
probably gonna be like a half a season.
Yeah.
A wasted one. They just had one a couple of years ago, a wasted season.
But anyway,
Yep.
Thank you all again for watching. And don't forget, you can catch us on Spotify.
That's
You
right.
can catch us on Google.
That's right.
You can catch us on Apple.
Mhm.
You know, YouTube, of course, you're watching. So please, we have our page on Facebook, Sports Opinions Regular Guys. You want to catch us, you want to ask some more some sports related questions that we'd be able to answer a little bit easier and not offend anyone, then please drop some questions. We talk about plenty of people, so if you have a different opinion on it, throw it at us.
out.
All right.
Throw it out.
So again, thank you again for watching. We'll see you again. Signing off.
Sayonara.